basically how the system works. And the best thing is to have sattva at the highest. And when you have sattva rising, you will find that there are lots of beautiful things that happen around us. But when rajas rises, just do a small recap of what we did. As you know, sattva draws one to joy and rajas to action, while tamas, clouding wisdom, impels one to error, sleep and sloth. I'm just doing fast, huh? Don't worry. 14 tak मैं करूँगा. Overpowering rajas and tamas, Arjuna sattva prevails. Overpowering sattva and tamas, rajas prevails, and overpowering sattva and rajas, tamas prevails. This is how it works. When light and discernment dawns in the body as well as in the mind and senses, then one should know that sattva is predominant. What does the meaning of the word light and discernment? Light means what? Light is, yes, the effulgence, the knowledge which rises in a person. It's not the mundane knowledge. It will tell you that there are lots of things. Maybe, when sattva rises in people, it so happens that I was reading something very beautiful yesterday. In that, somebody asked Ramakrishna Paramahansa, why is it that these holy people or those who are on the spiritual path, they are so poor, they have no money, they are always at the lower end of the scale. So he says that Krishna has this very nice habit, he doesn't want to give money to those people whom he loves the most.
Less they will keep.
So the more that they have, the less amount of devotion they are going to have. They are going to get devoted to money if they have more money. So the person who is on the sattvic path, who has got a preponderance of sattva, he is very light in knowledge and he can discriminate well. He knows that the material worldly stuff that is there is always going to drag a person down. So such a type of a person doesn't run after money, doesn't run after name, fame, he doesn't run after wants, desires and all those things. But now if you take the case of a rajasic person, with the preponderance of rajas, Arjuna greed. Greed means what? I want. The constant want is there. Activity. Too much of activity happens. A rajasic person is constantly active. He is always wanting to do something or the other. Now, what does this activity involve? Activity which is called a fruitive action. Fruitive means that which leads to the fruits.
Motivating.
Yes, everything that is going to lead towards money, wealth, happiness, all ends. It is actually looking at the ends. All fruitive actions that are there, they are going to be, for a rajasic person, this is very important. It has to lead to results. So for the rajasic person, it is extremely important to have results in place. Alright? So this kind of a activity is there. Undertaking of action with an interested motive. Like I said to you just now. Interested motive, can I get this name? Can I have my name in the papers? Can I get money? Can I get fame? Can I get wine, women, all those things, trying to achieve objectives. This is very important. Restlessness. Person is extremely restless. Doesn't want to sit in one place. Wants to go here, there. Constantly the mind is restless. One minute. No, there's a key. I just have to open that. We're doing 14. Chapter 14 is just doing a small recap. So we were just now talking about when Rajas was in rise, what happened? Hello, it is chapter 14, 12 number verse. 12. With the preponderance of Rajas, Arjuna greed activity, undertaking of action with an interested motive, restlessness, and a thirst for enjoyment makes their appearance. Thirst for enjoyment means what? I want to enjoy this, I want to enjoy that. Okay? So if you are going to Kadapa, you can't enjoy because it's hot sun, right? So that's not enjoyment. Now we go to the third one, which is called the rise of tamas. With the growth of tamas, Arjuna, obtuseness of the mind and senses. What is obtuseness of the mind? सब टेढ़ा दिखता है. कोई भी चीज बोलेगा, it all looks obtuse. That means suppose if I say, oh it's such a nice weather, and the person will say, what, you are talking about the hot weather, it's so nice or what? I'm feeling so hot. Can't you understand? Or suppose you say, oh she is so beautiful. Oh, that means I am not beautiful. You are calling somebody else beautiful. Lo kar lo baat. So you find this is called obtuseness. You can't see anything good in this world. That means even things which are nice, things which have got quality in them, you will think that they are worthless and useless things. And senses. Obtuseness, very cynical person, a person who doesn't see goodness in anything. And senses. The senses are also going to look at all the wrong things. Like, when we were discussing in the morning with Brito, Brito sees everything in that color. It's a beautiful color. And the color looks very healthy and nice and very, very good to the eyes. But, let us say for example, a person sees red. Okay? The red color is so nice whereas the sun is concerned, it's the rising sun or the setting sun. But you look at another person who is, with his eyes, he will say, you see the sun has become red, now it's going to become dark, and now the whole world is going to become dark. So he is only seeing obtuse, and his senses are also going to see the same wrong thing in this world. The senses never look at it from a positive point of view. They always look from the negative point perspective. So, disinclination to perform one's obligatory duties. There are certain obligations in the world. What are the obligations in the world? You have to keep your body fit and trim, isn't it? These are your personal obligations. Or you want to make your body rust, or you just want to let it go. Okay? Then what happens to you? You get demotivated. You feel as if the whole world is, everybody is pointing fingers at you. And you feel as if everything is going wrong in your world. Isn't it? So, disinclination to perform one's own duties. Duties towards the family, very important that you need to do. Duty towards the universe. See, like there is so much of shortage of water. In India just now, there is so much of shortage of water. And just imagine there is some person in your house who just keeps the tap on. Imagine there is a shortage of water and this person is so obtuse, he keeps the tap on. बोलता क्या होता है ये? मैं पानी का पैसा देता हूँ ना. You see the way the person talks. He will say, मैं पैसा देता हूँ ये पानी का, तो मैंने फेंका या किया तो whatever I do with it is none of your business. I mean, is that what you are supposed to speak? So a tamasic person whose rise in tamas is there will always find such type of obtuse things, will never perform obligatory duties, just like obligation to this universe, save water. Okay, sometimes it is like you understand that these are basic things in our world. It's like you need to give good food to your body. Instead of that, eating all nonsensical stuff outside. And imagine karo, in our material world there are so many things which are very, very important for us to do. What are they? Like we do our morning ablutions, isn't it? Brushing our teeth and taking a bath and all that. But a tamasic person will say, I brushed yesterday, why do I need to brush today? Okay? I had a bath 2 days ago. Why do I need to have bath now? Anyway, I have not gone anywhere. I am just sitting in one place. And the weather is also not. What should I do? I will just sit in one place. I don't want to have bath. But these are abolition. Every day you got to do those things. So in my world, when somebody does like this, I ask them, "We are gone to the loo. Why you want to wash your ass any which way? You're going to 10 times to the loo, na? Wash it after the 10th time. You don't need to wash it just now." So stupid. I mean, you can't be so silly and stupid in your world. If you got to do your daily activities, you got to do them perfectly. So a tamasic person doesn't want to do. Yes, I was saying.
All these activities, daily activities or whatever, these are part of the swadharma of the body, right?
Yes.
Okay, how did they come about? मतलब आदमी को पहले पता कैसे चला कि ये सब
Imagine Karna, your nose is filled with gunk. You don't want to remove it or what? You want to. So it's like that. It's but natural. It's a natural thing. The body has a natural way of doing things, isn't it? Does the hair tell you, "I want to grow"? It will ask you every day. I'll send you an email. "I want to grow. Can I?" Imagine, your hair is telling you that. Okay. It can't do that. It has its own natural ability, isn't it?
Body keeps expelling.
Yes.
You have to clean it.
So, because you see, if you don't brush your teeth, you get that dirty smell from your mouth, isn't it? Or you don't wash your face, it will look like as if you have never washed it for the last 10 days. You look like a booth, isn't it? If you don't comb your hair. What?
But one more thing. ये जो बाबा जी जो हिमालय के पास और ये जो कुंभ मेला में जाते हैं ना, वो लोग कभी तो नहाते हैं ना, दे ऑल्सो ब्रश नहीं करते हैं, नहाते भी नहीं है, कुछ तो भी खाते हैं मिला.
They are beyond the three gunas. Somebody who has reached beyond the three gunas takes what is called as a yogic bath. The bath is yogic in nature. Okay, they clean themselves by yogic powers. It's like, you put your thing on the gas for heating, correct? Your food, put on the gas. It's a method of heating. In the same way, you put it in the microwave oven. Does it get heated?
Yes.
In lesser amount of time?
Yes.
How?
So microwave is
So some waves are there. Something is heating it, isn't it? So like that, in the same way, the cleaning process also happens in a beautiful way. It happens by means of certain waves, certain cleaning energies which are there in those yogic powers that they have. It is like you take bath with water. Have you ever seen a chidiya taking bath? Chidiya, the sparrow. Have you seen how the sparrow takes bath? It takes bath in mud. It will sit in the mud and do like this to itself. It takes bath in the mud. You should see the beautiful way in which they take bath. Okay, so like that every animal. Now you think about it. Where do fish take a bath?
नहाते रहते हैं ना हमेशा. वो नहा के बाहर कभी नहीं जाते हैं.
So that means the fishes also have to clean or no? So that means the things are happening very naturally in every world. Correct? So like there are people are staying in Arctic Circle or Antarctica or wherever. You see those Antarctic creatures over there, the penguins and all. You think they take bath? You will say they are staying in ice any which way, they don't sweat and all that. Who says that? They have a lot of creatures on their body like ticks and all that. Of course, so many millions of creatures. So they take definitely a cleaning. Bath means what? Bath doesn't mean with water alone. Bath means just a cleaning process. The process of cleaning. See, when you clean your house, you use vacuum cleaner sometimes, isn't it? That's also cleaning, isn't it?
Even the cats,
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah, every animal grooms itself. You'll find the dog will keep on licking all over the place. That's their grooming methods. So if they can do, you can also do, no? You can every day. So, no, you have your methods, the dogs have their methods, the penguins have their methods. Every creature has its own method of ablution. That's a daily activity. Okay, you may say, why do the dogs not brush their teeth? They don't need to, sir. They have a mechanism in their body which takes care of it. In the same way, everything in this material world is rightly in its place. I mean, you may wonder why things are like that. Okay, you will find that there are very fine mollusks. Mollusks, you know, or those sea anemones, creatures like that. Have you seen? Huh? Now, all those creatures, if you observe them under microscope, you will find that there are very tiny organisms sitting on their body. They are sitting on their body and eating all the stuff which is coming from everywhere. It's a very natural way of cleaning. You will find that big whales are there. In their mouth, no, they are having small fishes, and they are cleaning inside their teeth and all that.
Even the buffaloes, so many birds,
Yeah, buffaloes also. Yeah, buffaloes, cows, and all. They will. So many creatures will sit. The crow will sit and will peck, 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 peck all over the place. It's a cleaning method.
Ecosystem.
So here, but a tamasic person doesn't even want to do that. He says, no, I don't want to do that also. Can I just remain just like that? Lazy fellow. Disinclination to perform one's obligatory duties. Frivolity and stupor. Frivolity means what? फालतू चीज में कोई भी बकवास करते रहेगा. फालतू चीज में है ना, where it is not at all required, he is going to do something. I'm sure you may have met a lot of people in your world where frivolous activity. I'm sure you have seen a lot of people, you know, they'll paint their nails. They will look at it like this. Oh, this color doesn't suit me. Can I remove this out? And then with the next thing, they will remove it out. And then they will say, I think I need a pink color one. They'll put a pink color and then they'll say, oh my God, I was wearing a blue dress today. I can't have pink nails. Again, remove it out.
So they spend 5,000 rupees for nail.
Just imagine.
वीडियो वाले लोग करते हैं ना, रोड पहले डालते हैं, उसके बाद आके वीडियो वाले आके रोड तोड़ते हैं, फिर से रोड डालते हैं.
Correct. So our world is like that, full of sattvic, very less, rajasic, quite a lot. I told you, no, this is a yuga of tamas, and in tamas everything is frivolous in nature. Just imagine today iPhone is there in the market, iPhone 5. There is an iPhone clone available for 9,500 rupees.
China से.
Yes. So I also have an iPhone करके बोल सकता है आदमी. तो वैसा ही दिखने में everything is the same. क्यों? अरे तुम्हारे पास एक फोन है तो दूसरा काय को मांगता है, और दूसरा है तो तीसरा मांगता है, तीसरा है तो चौथा मांगता है. पुराने जमाने में हम लोग क्या इतना फोन लेके घूमते थे. इमेजिन करना हुआ है ना, बड़ा इंस्ट्रूमेंट अपना एक खीसे में एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट, दूसरा खीसे में दूसरा इंस्ट्रूमेंट डाल के, और ये रिंग ना हेलो कर रहे हैं हम लोग, है ना, जोर और वो बोले यार जोर से चिल्ला के बोलना, सुनने को भी आता है. Sounds so funny, no? But today we are like that. We require just frivolous stuff for no rhyme or reason. Frivolous in such, this thing that we will go to a restaurant, this is a very funny thing that you might have noticed in restaurants. In restaurants, if you go, suppose you go for a rib stick करके जो बोलता है ना, one rib they will put little small stuff and they will put yellow, green, purple color, दो चार कलर डाल के और साला 2,000 रुपया चिट कर रहा है इसको. एक इतना सा आइटम लगाएगा उसमें, वो खाने का रहता है. स्टेक वो हम मेरे को नहीं समझता. एक हम लोग बीच में एक सन्नी करके कोई रेस्टोरेंट में गए, सन्नी सुना कोई तो एक रेस्टोरेंट बंद हो गया. वो इतना सा आइटम देता है, उसका इतना पैसा लगाता है. बोला इसमें क्या है, बोला बहुत उसमें सोना चांदी कुछ भर के ऐसा लगा. फ्रीवोलनेस इन नेचर. You see, there is one thing which has happened today, and I think even Senthil must have done that. How much you pay? $375, huh? Good. $375 into 1,000 people is that much amount of money they must have collected, and they don't know what to do. So they are outsourcing everything. Frivolous. काम धंधा नहीं है साले लोगों को. काम कर, इधर पैसा खर्चा करो, उधर पैसा. क्यों? पैसा जमा किया है तो खर्चा करना है. We have become like this. It's fully tamasic in nature. There is no sattva in that place. One temple has collected so many thousands of dollars, and now, as per the rule of a trust cannot use that much of, cannot store that much fund, so spend it on frivolous activity. So they are spending in anything and everything in the world, which is so stupid. And you may really wonder कि ऐसा करते क्यों है?
Doesn't it become rajasic?
No. Frivolous. मतलब झाड़ू वाला कोई नहीं आती, चलो जो एक झाड़ू वाला है एडिशनल, ये झाड़ू वाला रखेंगे और वो झाड़ू वाले का सुपरवाइजर भी रखेंगे। एक रूम क्लीन करने के लिए एक झाड़ू वाला, फिर उसके लिए वो आता है कि नहीं काम पे वो देखने के लिए और एक झाड़ू वाला उसके ऊपर। अच्छा, उसको सैलरी देने के लिए ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज डिपार्टमेंट। अरे तू टेम्पल चलाता है कि ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज डिपार्टमेंट चलाता है? कैन यू इमेजिन दैट? So funny and stupid it sounds.
BSNL has more than, I don't know, more.
I can't name people.
BSNL has that many.
You can't name people like that over here.
So BSNL employee hai.
So we have these type of people in this world. They are frivolous and full of stupor. Stupor bolega to? You know those three birds in what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? बोले एक गुब्बर पूछता है, गुब्बर बोलेगा तो वल्चर, एक वल्चर दूसरे वल्चर को पूछता है हम क्या करने वाले, दूसरा बोलता है मेरे को क्या मालूम, इसको पूछ, तो दूसरे तीसरे को पूछता है बोलते हम लोग क्या करने वाले, मेरे को क्या मालूम, उसको पूछ. So finally we come back to the same person again. What are we going to do now? I don't know. I don't know. This is what is all full of stupor. We are filled like that, you know. क्या करने का है, मेरे को क्या मालूम. So full of stupor. There is no activity. Activity means rajas. Remember these three things. Stupor means tamas. Activity means rajas. And all the light and the goodness is sattva. So these are three gunas that are there, and every preponderance of one particular guna is when a man dies during the preponderance of sattva, he obtains a stainless ethereal world attained by the men of noble deeds. So anybody who is in the sattvic mode, he dies during this period. When sattva is there in him, the sattva is risen, and if he dies, he attains all the heavens in the world.
क्या है heavens?
Whichever heaven you want to go to.
अब उसको सत्व है.
अभी तेरा बॉस गया लास वेगस, तेरे को जाने का है?
नहीं.
सत्व में डाल के है ना, सीधा बोलने का लास वेगस हेवन, and you will reach over there.
But then सत्व में रहने वाला आदमी really want to go to heaven.
Where else he will go? Where else he will go?
मतलब उसको heaven में जाके enjoy नहीं करने का है, तो क्यों करेगा?
Heaven is basically, I can't send him to hell, no. उधर डीप फ्राई होएगा उसका, हाँ, तंदूरी चिकन बनेगा उसका, उधर थोड़ी हो जाएगा. He's done some good service, so he has to go to heaven only. Correct or wrong?
Heaven क्या है heaven?
Heaven is where there are lots of, heaven is full of enjoyment, by the way. You will sit at the side of God, and you will wear one rassi over there, and you will listen to all the item numbers over there.
But does a sattvic person want to go there?
Huh?
Does a sattvic person want to go there?
What else he will do? You think about it, no? What will a sattvic person want to do in his world? He will say, मैं वो item number नहीं देख रहा हूँ, मैं God को देख रहा हूँ, ऐसा बोलेगा ना? But God is also enjoying, no?
वो तो demigods है ना, enjoy कर रहे हैं.
हाँ, so this heaven is what? A demigods only. A person who is in this universe, in this world, is always controlled by these three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. But those who are in the spiritual world, they are beyond these three gunas. They don't bother about all these activities. Understand? When the discerning person sees no one as doer other than the three gunas and realizes the Supreme Spirit. Oh, have I jumped pages?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so we heard about sattva is going to go to some heaven. Now we are going to hear about rajas. When rajas predominates, he is born again among those attached to action. Even so, the man who was expired during the preponderance of tamas is reborn in the species of stupid creatures such as insects and beasts, etc. So the person who is rajasic in nature, Now, when he dies at the time, Rajas is at the rising. Rajas is very high. He is born amongst those attached to action. Person is born who is always attached to action. Action बोले तो person who is constantly active. टक 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 चालू ही है, चालू ही है, चालू ही है. Now think about it. In your own world, there are lots of people who are. You tell them, no, you take holiday one day, and they will say, oh, no, I can't take a holiday. Why? I've got all important things to do. Tomorrow my meeting is there. My boss is coming from USA. This is happening. That is happening. But do you think that without you the meeting is not going to get held or what? Do you think you are such an important person that because of you, okay, everything is going to come to a standstill, and the boss is going to keep on waiting, looking at the door. आया क्या आया क्या आया ऐसा करने वाला है तुमको लगता है? कोई रुकता नहीं है किसी के लिए. But this person wants to join that action, so he is always involved in this action and he wants to be constantly in activity. So suppose you are God and you see a Rajasic person, where will you want to throw that person? Simple, isn't it? Where there is so much of activity, चलो इसको काम करने का ही आदत है ना, चलो इसको काम करने को डाल देंगे, भांडी घासने को डाल देंगे. अभी समझ में आया? भांडी घासने का बोलेगा तो बर्तन करने का, होटल में चलेगा?
यार मुंबई में डाल देगा. सिटी में नेवर स्लीप.
What about politicians? वो लोग राजसिक है तो they keep on coming.
किसने बोला राजसिक है?
I just वो लोग क्या है?
पॉलिटिशियन के बारे में मैं नहीं बोल सकता. Politicians are beyond the three species, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. There must be fourth one over here. We will call it P. Now I can't name this P. Just think that there are so many P's in your world.
तो वो फिर से वही बन के आएगा.
उन लोग का हेवन अलग ही रहेगा ना. हेवन में एंटर करने के लिए भी है ना, पैसा देना पड़ेगा उसको. बोला तो मेरे को कितना खिलाता है उतना मैं तेरे को अच्छा प्लेस देगा.
अच्छा.
हाँ, कुर्सी अच्छा, सब अच्छा. बोला मस्त सेलफोन भी देगा. बोला कौन सा है तेरे पास, सैमसंग है क्या, आईफोन है कि क्या है? बोला लेटेस्ट मांगता है. तो बोला उतना पैसा लगता है. So there must be a fourth category also, no?
I don't know.
See, so what it means is, today in today's day and age, this is the highest. Tamas is the highest. You can say Tamas has risen to the level of 50 to 60%. Rajas has risen to the level of 30 to 40%. And what is little bit remaining, thoda sa chiller, is Sattva. And Sattva is hardly around.
They say.
Yes. Even those who are giving to charity and all that, do you think they are Sattvic in nature?
Rajasic.
They are Rajasic. They want to see where their money is going. This term I learned in the last 1 year's time called CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility. मेरे को ये term क्या था मालूम ही नहीं था इसके पहला.
They're making it mandatory also.
Yes. Now corporate social responsibility बोला तो एक ऐसा बंदूक रखने का बोलता है भाई देता कि नहीं, तेरे पगार में से $10 हम काटने वाला है. You can't say no. You are not a good citizen. लोग कर लो बात. You don't pay tax, you are not a good citizen. You don't do this, you are not a good citizen. Think about it. Every company tells somebody, their own people, Saturday, Sunday you got off, no? One Saturday you got to go and spend among those dirty children in the neighborhood. हाँ, तो कभी नाक साफ नहीं करते, कभी चड्डी नहीं पहनते, ऐसा जो कि जाके है ना उधर जाके उनके साथ रहने का, उनको सिखाने का. बरस में 1 बार या 10 बार जाके भी सिखाएगा ABCD, तो भी तुमको क्या लगता है तुम्हारे 1 घंटे में वो उसका ABCD समझने वाला है उसको? Think about it. God looks upon such type of people as idiots because He knows they are idiots. That, you see, please understand. Did you read this line again? You will find that very simply He says, dying with Rajas predominant, he is born among those attached to action. Okay? Even so, the man who has expired during the preponderance of tamas is born among stupid creatures such as insects and beasts. God Himself has, designed this framework. बोला वो जो हम लोगों ने कौन सा पिक्चर देखा था बीच में, स्लम डॉग मिलियनेयर करके एक पिक्चर आया था. After Slumdog Millionaire came and went away also, the area is looking the same. The children who acted in the film are in the same place where they started.
And the world looks at India as Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, and the whole world looks at us as a very beautiful case of slum dogs. In India we are slum and dogs also. Full of slums and we are dogs also. So, what is it that has happened? Nothing happened.
Somebody made money and went away.
Yeah, that is his job. He is Rajasic in nature. He makes money and goes away. But these slum dogs have become slum only. Nothing has changed over there. Okay. I'll tell you one very beautiful story during my childhood. There was a child in my class now. He is a grown-up man and all that. He is 2 legs, no? One of them was क्या था, पोलियो हुआ था, कुछ तो भी हुआ था उसको. But his hands and all were very strong. So what he would do, no? He would hold his hand like this and crush children's fingers. And he used to say, "कल है ना 10 रुपया लेके नहीं आएगा तो दिखाएगा तेरे को मैं." And out of sympathy, other children in the class would bring money for him. I mean, think about it. This is what it all is. And finally, we have these schemes in our world where they say that in Mumbai, they have these handicap stalls. There is no handicapped person sitting in that stall, by the way. It is run by some person, somebody else who is interested in making money, but taken in the name of the handicapped person. What happened to that handicapped person? He is still a handicapped. God has put these people exactly in the place where they are supposed to be. So, when somebody asks Ramakrishna Paramahansa ki, क्या कर रहे हो तुम, स्कूल बनाने की बात कर रहे हो and all that. So Ramakrishna looks at that person and says, "Oh, so you think you are the great person who is going to make schools and all that? Okay? मतलब तेरे जैसे भगवान के अपने इसमें बैठे रहते हैं लोग 1000. When God wants to make His school, He will make a school. Who are you to say I am going to make a school? Any which way, you will find that there are some fantastic institutions run by some fantastic people. Okay, I was reading about a gentleman called Krishnamurti. Have heard of Krishnamurti?
The Rishi Valley School.
Yes. They bought another school. And after he died, it went into ruins, so it had to be sold. Why? Do you think that is what the person is supposed to do? Do you really think that a person like a sage is supposed to open schools, feed the poor, give this thing to somebody and that thing to somebody? Is that what a sage is supposed to do? A true sage never does any of these things. Look at Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Look at Sai Baba. Do you think Sai Baba built a school or what? No, Sai Baba will build a school. Why should he? God has got idiots placed in all the places. He will tell that idiot, जा जाके एक school बना जा. बोला एक है ना 1000 बेड्स वाला एक स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल बना, सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल बना जा. तेरे जैसे लूले लंगड़े हैं ना वहां पे आएंगे. Why would somebody want to make a school, a college, an institution, or some such type of stupid thing?
He's not the same. These are ad seekers.
Yes.
After faith.
So anybody who is actually interested in making this type of silly and stupid stuff is actually looking for something else. So if somebody comes to me and says, I am a sage and I have built I have a school where there are 5,000 children over there. I'm giving free education. I look at that person and say, here goes a Rajasic person. He's not even sattvic in nature, I'm sorry. And he has fallen down in this run. Nowhere is it mentioned that a sage is supposed to do any of those things. A sage's job is only to bring goodness to the land, teach. That is all that he is supposed to do. Beyond that, he is not supposed to indulge in any of these things. No. Margadarshan, most important is, यहाँ पे उसने यही कहा है, and it will come in the future also. Well, what is the activities that are important to every kind of creature? The reward of righteous acts, they say, is sattvic. That is faultless in the shape of joy, wisdom and dispassion, etc. Sorrow is declared to be the fruit of Rajasic act and ignorance, the fruit of Tamasic act. Now, any action that you do in this material world, if it is sattvic in nature, what happens to you? You feel happy. Remember, we are not talking of a spiritual person. Please understand, we are talking of all material worldly people over here. So, a sattvic material worldly person. This person, what kind of reward does he get? He feels happy. I am happy. When the Ma came to Singapore, so I was the person who was taking her around. Very good. You did a fantastic job. So, what do you think that's a good job? I'm very happy. You are happy, why?
So the ego got boosted.
Yeah, the fellow is not even sattvic chodo, he would be a worse than tamasic. मैंने बोला 4th class. Gaya Gujra class. So that person, faultless in the shape of joy, he will get joy. He will be, he will have halo on his head. Okay, he will feel happy and joyful and all that, and dispassion, etc. And what happens to a Rajasic act? Suppose you do a Rajasic act. Let us say, I am doing a Rajasic act. What kind of a Rajasic act? Some kind of a Rajasic act where क्या हो गया तेरे को तकलीफ हो रही है? अटक गया?
वो क्या होता है मुंह कभी-कभी sometimes वो muscles क्या अटक गया कब से अभी ठीक हुआ?
होता ना इसका ये अटक गया हाँ तो वाइफ ने ऐसा रख के दिया गड्ढा में
शादी से पहले भी कभी अटकता था
अच्छा पहले से शादी से पहले भी अटकता था उसका मतलब गर्लफ्रेंड ने तेरे को मारा था क्या है सबसे मार खाता है
नहीं वो
So Rajasic act, any Rajasic act that is there, like let us say for example a Rajasic act of say building, बड़ा building बनाया मैंने और बड़ा bridge बनाया. There is one ad which goes on in TV. That person, he is always building something.
Cement
and yes, cement ad.
Bambuja cement.
Bambuja cement.
Bambuja.
Wait. So that cement company का वो बड़ा ब्रिज बना है. बोला देख महीने बनाया. ओके तूने बनाया बहुत अच्छा है तो बोला इससे बड़ा और बनाऊंगा. You know there is a story in the Bible about a person who wants to fight the gods, so he makes a building. And he builds it higher and higher and higher and higher so that he can fight the gods. Finally, one stroke of lightning and the whole thing comes crashing down. Called the Tower of Babel. Have you heard of Tower of Babel? It was built by this great king. And it comes down. So any person who is a Rajasic in nature will finally find this type of thing happening to him. What happens to it? Sorrow. Only sorrow will come to this type of a person. Imagine karo, somebody who has, locked in crores and crores and crores of rupees, he has earned over the period of time. And he gives it to his son. Okay? And the son says, I will make it from 1,000 crores, I will make it 10,000 crores and then 100,000 crores. Acha? Yes, I want to fly very high. I want to be the bird in the sky, and that bird comes down. Boom, like that. Like that, the bird came down. How? Because this is what happened to him. Sorrow is declared to be the fruit of Rajasic act. The Rajasic act that was done by his father and him will finally bring him to ruin, will put him in the state of sorrow. Every person who is Rajasic in nature will finally meet his sorrow. If not from his own hands, but at least his children's hands or the future generation's hands. Definitely, 100%. And then, for the tamasic person, act and Rajasic act, and ignorance the fruit of tamasic act. So, the person who is doing a tamasic act will be getting only ignorance, more coverings, more and more coverings, more and more coverings. Think about a person. I'm sure you have seen in your own localities or in some areas near your house, you will find that there is always one man is beating another woman continuously. वो मारते ही रहता है, मारते ही रहता है, मारते ही रहता है, मारते ही रहता है उसको. कभी भी दारू पी के आएगा मारेगा, ये करके आएगा मारेगा. And then what happens to that person? The woman who is getting hit has got so used to it that she cannot sleep without that beating. I'm not joking. This is what happens to people. Actually happens to people. Okay? We get so used to it. It is like addiction. Actually, it becomes an addiction. And I can't sleep without getting this dose. I'm sure there are lots of people in our group who will definitely say, ना, मैं अगर ऐसा नहीं करेगा तो ऐसा नहीं होता है. Correct? Right or wrong? कि नहीं? कोई भी चीज मैं नहीं करेगा तो वो मेरे को नींद नहीं आएगा. मैंने ऐसा नहीं किया तो वो नहीं होएगा. हाँ तू बोल.
Thing happened. One of my colleagues in HP, he used to stay near that old airport. उसके घर के पास में से ही that runway was there. Every day and night he used to hear that sound. वो यहाँ का वेस्ट बंगाल का है. While going there, he recorded those sounds and went and used to play it in the night. West Bengal में, he never used to get sleep without those sounds.
Correct.
पहले बहुत तकलीफ हुआ था. बाद में 1 year, 2 years and all, he was so used to it. He recorded all those sounds and went back.
Correct. Exactly what happens. We get so habituated by things. That is ignorance. We get covered more and more and more by ignorance. And this ignorance is very dangerous to every person who is tamasic in nature. Because he is anyway going to go down still further. Wisdom follows from sattva and greed undoubtedly from rajas. Likewise, obstinate error, stupor and ignorance follows from tamas. Wisdom follows from sattva. A person who is sattvic in nature, next step is wisdom. The next step, going upwards, is wisdom. He gets more of wisdom. The wisdom rises. That means the person becomes wiser in nature. Alright? Now what happens to the person who is rajasic in nature? He goes towards the greed. Have you seen a person who plays rummy? Rummy, rummy game?
Yeah. Casino.
Casino नहीं. घर में भी देखो, हम लोग का अपने आजू बाजू के घर में रमी खेलेगा. 3 पत्ती खेलता है. 3 पत्ती देखा है कभी? 1 2 3. कैसीनो रॉयल के जैसा बराबर. तो 3 पत्ती खेले. वो हार रहा है. हम लोग के जमाने में है ना, 1 रुपया 2 रुपया 10 रुपया 20 रुपया हारते थे तो बहुत तकलीफ होती थी. लेकिन यहाँ पे है ना, हजारों में लाखों में हार रहा है. He thinks what my next hand is going to be, I'm going to win.
So he's thinking very positive.
Yeah, very positive thinking. I'm going to win in the next round. First, he is in a very rajasic state. He wants to win. Activity. Remember, that's also activity, no?
Speculative activity.
Yes, speculative activity. Greed is there. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Okay? Want more. So this person leads to wisdom, this person goes to greed. And then my third friend goes to Kalika.
Ignorance.
Stupor.
Ignorance, stupor, and
Obstinate error.
yeah. What does tamas lead us to? Tamas leads us to ignorance. Please understand. Tamasic person will always get covered up by ignorance. समझ में ही नहीं आता है उसको. Nothing. No knowledge will seep into that person. So he goes into stupor. Stupor बोलेगा तो like I told you that lady was getting hit. So finally what happens? She goes ऐसा करके रोते सो जाएगी. यही होता है. बच्चे लोग भी ऐसे ही करते हैं. Have you seen? You will find that there in our world we have a lot of kind of kids that we must have come across. They हट बोलते हैं ना, हट करने वाले. हट.
Obstinate.
Yeah, हट. I want it करके और मम्मी बोलते कि नहीं है मेरे पास, मैं किधर से लाऊं, मैं नहीं दे सकती हूँ. तो I want it में finally वो लड़का सो जाता है. Next morning he goes up again, he is in the I want it mode only. Obstinate error. Obstinate error is a person even after 1000 बार बोलने के बाद भी उसको समझ में नहीं आती बात. कोई भी चीज person is not able to grasp or understand at all. And then he goes in the state of stupor. Those who abide in the quality of sattva wend their way upwards, while those of rajasic disposition stay in the middle, and those of tamasic temperament, enveloped as they are in the effect of tamoguna, sink down. Remember, in our explanation, I have told you, we move up, we stay where we are, or we go down. Three things happens. So a person who is sattvic in nature rises high. I told you this is where the solar plexus is. Correct? Solar plexus. Okay. The person stays where he is. Because he is only greed, no? Rajasic person. He is only greed. I want. What happens to the Rajasic person? To some sattvic person? He rises higher. He goes higher in life. He rises to the heavens, as we say. And then what happens to the tamasic person? He goes down. So this
solar plexus is where the genitals are.
wait, बाद में बताता हूँ. Yes, just above your navel, does not above your navel. Basically, a person in the material world also becomes like this. He rises high in sattva, in greed, he stays where he is, and in stupor, he is always going to go down. This is what even Krishna also says the same thing. When the discerning person sees no one as the doer, other than the three gunas, and realizes me, the Supreme Spirit standing entirely beyond the gunas, he enters into my being. So now, who is this person that we are talking about? Person who just sees that these three gunas, Rajas, Sattva and Tamas, they are acting by themselves. Didn't I tell you, you asked me a question, how does a person learn to brush his teeth and who told him to do that? It's a very natural activity, isn't it? Right or wrong? Even if I plant a seed, the roots will go down and the tree will rise high, no? Or do you think the tree will go down and the roots will come up?
It's a big tree where
ऐसा नहीं होता ना नॉर्मली. बच्चा जब इतना छोटा रहता है कभी वो बढ़ेगा कि घटेगा? बढ़ेगा. हनी आई श्रंक द किड्स बोला नहीं, मेरा बच्चा है ना 1 फीट का पैदा हुआ था, अभी है ना 1 इंच का है। बोला कितना बरस का है? बोला 50 बरस का हो गया, 1 इंच का है। थिंक अबाउट इट, ऐसा होता है? इट्स अ वेरी नेचुरल एबिलिटी of the body to rise, grow up, correct? In the same way, everything is naturally designed in this universe. Everything is naturally designed. Now you ask yourself, you must have fallen in love. How did you fall in love?
Natural activity.
ऑटोमेटिक हो गया ना, किधर तो भी बटन पिंक करके ऑन हो गया तो हो गया।
हो जाता है।
हाँ, हो जाता है। अभी उसके लिए थोड़ी कोई तो भी बोला नहीं नहीं सम्राट अभी है ना प्यार करने का, जा ऐसा करके कोई बोला मेरे को? बोला 1 2 3 गेट सेट गो, जा ऐसा करके थोड़ी बोला। तो सब लड़की के पीछे तू जाएगा?
नहीं।
So everything happens naturally. Then दांत भी naturally आया। वैसे ही है ना, दांत घिसने का से लेके कंघी करने का सब naturally follow हुआ। Everything follows very naturally. There are people who are going to go and build houses on the moon. That will also happen naturally. No, they are floating a company which is going to build houses on the moon. There's a very big write-up in the paper today. You want to book? No. So, in this, Rajasic, Tamasic and Sattvic, 3 gunas are acting. The gunas are acting on their own. You can either take this train or this train or this train. Whichever train you want is in your hands. Please understand, it is not in somebody's hands at all.
The choice you make.
Yes.
Is it not destiny, driven by destiny also?
Destiny is telling you तुमको जो करने, कौन सा गाड़ी पकड़ने का तुमको?
But by nature, somebody may be Rajasic by nature, by birth.
Yes.
So the destiny.
You see, Rajasic in nature was Swami Vivekananda. Was he not the greatest sage of all? He was having a very high Rajasic. So he could give speeches. So he could talk. So he could hold people, like this. सब देखते बैठे थे उसको।
That's why he had to look so, because he was like
ऐसा करके एकदम।
Gandhi.
हाँ, शिवाजी महाराज, Rajasic in nature, absolutely. शिवजी समझता है? हाँ, हर हर महादेव। He is tamasic in nature.
So better at that. He'll always be sitting.
He'll always be sitting illa. In his world, everything happens in slow motion. Everything happens like that only. आराम से होता है. He is the king of tamas. King of rajas is
Vishnu.
constant activity. How can you say that Vishnu is sattva? Is the boss of sattva. So Rajasic is, I want to make children. I want to do this. I want to do that. ब्रह्मा जी का काम है वो.
Easy to create.
चलो प्रोडक्शन लाइन लगा दो, चालू करो. टेका. क्या समझ में आया? तो राजसिक इन नेचर इज ब्रह्मा, विष्णु, महेश, 3 people, 3 gods for 3 different things to do in this world. So you will find that a discerning person, a person who has got the 3 D's in him. What is the 3 D's? Dispassion, detachment and discrimination. The 3 D's in a person makes a person discerning. समझ में आया? Sees no one as the doer. Why would anybody be the doer? The doer is these gunas themselves. The gunas is doing the doership. It's not him. So, and then when you understand that the gunas are acting in the gunas alone. How does a guna act in the guna? You want to know? Now let us say, for example, I have 3 glasses over here. Okay? One of them is filled with feni. Feni, Goa ka feni. Yeah, good. And the second one is got sugarcane juice. Okay. And the third one has got गंगा जल. अभी मैंने समझो 3 लोग हैं यहाँ पे, बोला तीन ग्लास में से है ना एक एक चूज करने का. So now you tell me what will a Rajasic person choose?
Sugarcane juice.
Correct. Because it is full of activity. I want to do this, I want to do that. A Sattvic person will always choose a गंगा जल because he thinks गंगा पीने से आदमी है ना एकदम सात्विक बन जाता है. And तो बोला फेनी है अपना है या मजा आता है क्या. तामसिक पर्सन को तो फेनी बोले सोरोपियन न्यूजीलैंड. बराबर बराबर बोला कि नहीं. तुम लोग का भाषा बोला कि नहीं बोला.
Marathi use book.
No. That is not Marathi. Soro means liquor. Soro. Pion means I drink sorrow and then I have. Nizlan means I went to sleep. So after drinking nice training, nice sleep will come. This is गोवा में ऐसा सब होता था पहले. अभी होता है कि मालूम नहीं. अभी वो सोरो में भी है ना नींद नहीं आता. वो एकदम डाइल्यूट हुआ रहेगा आजकल.
इसमें गंगा जल मिक्स हो रहा है.
हाँ पता नहीं ऐसे ही कुछ तो.
No, these people's stomachs would have increased so much. Even a baby can't do them.
Yeah, that could have happened. So think about it. So any which way, a person who is tamasic in nature will always get drawn towards those things. Did you understand what I am trying to say? A tamasic person is drawn only towards the tamasic act only. On his own. Correct? A Rajasic person is drawn towards Rajasic act only. Got it? And a Sattvic person will get drawn towards Sattvic act only. That means, see, in these 3 glasses I just proved it to you that the Rajas will act in Rajas, Sattva will act in Sattva, and Tamas will act in Tamas. Okay? Did you get what I said? The gunas perform in the gunas. Did you get this understanding or no? Yes? No? You want one more example? Okay. Now, there are children in the class. Okay? Now you will find that the drill teacher comes. And half an hour period में वो तुमको है ना ऐसा तिगड़मबाजी कराने को लगा था. बोला है on your mark, get set, go. वो सब करने के बाद है ना go 20 rounds in the हाँ. There will definitely be a person who will say, teacher, I am not feeling well. जब देखो तभी उसका पैर टूटेला रहता है, उसकी माँ मर गई होती है, ग्रैंडफादर 50 बार मरता है. हाँ. And then he will have fever. I got fever. And then, if not fever, at least stomach ache. I got stomach ache. Then the teacher will say, okay, go sit in the corner. And he will sit in the corner and he will make mischief over there. Tamasic in action. Can you see? Always he is like this. Then there is another child in the class who will say, teacher, I finished 20 rounds. Can I go for the 21st? The teacher will say, अच्छा 21st में और 5 करना. वो 5 और भी करेगा आदमी. And yet he will say, now can I go for playing football? Rajasic in nature. Have you not seen this type of children in your life? Good. And then there is a Sattvic child. The Sattvic child is there. Teacher has said you have to do this. He will do that. हाँ बस. He will do it just because it has to be done. Just because it has to be done. So I am sure in your childhood you have seen this type of children. And you can identify yourself in among these 3. Huh? Correct or no? I was very tamasic in school in the beginning. So I would tell my teacher all the possible things in the world. I want to go for susu. And I would run away from there. And then I became very Rajasic in nature. And then for every activity I had to be first over there. बोला मार्च पास्ट में मैं झंडा लेके जाएगा. बोला झंडा लेके जाने के लिए तेरे को प्राइम मिनिस्टर या कुछ तो बनना पड़ेगा, वो भी मैं बनेगा। मैं एक बड़ा लिस्ट है ना उधर, उसमें मेरा नाम फर्स्ट आना मांगता था। अरे हर एक चीज में तेरे को क्या करने का? दैट वाज रजस, फुल ऑफ रजस। बोले ओपनिंग बैट्समैन मैं ही होने का, ओपनिंग बॉलर मैं ही होने का, कैप्टन ऑफ द टीम मैं ही होने का। लो कर लो बात, कुछ आता तो कुछ नहीं, लेकिन भाई करने का ऐसा। So rajasic, full rajas was there. And then it became completely different. So every person naturally, sometimes rajas is free. That's why he said, if you remember, the words which he uses are very technical in nature. He's saying what is rising. At the time of death, what is rising. Understand? Did he say these words or
Yes.
no? So you are constantly going from one to another, to another, to another, to another. Constantly, it is movement. Please understand. Sometimes in life you become so tamasic in nature, you don't want to go to work. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Well, no, I just want to just go somewhere, or I want to just go to sleep. होता है कि नहीं होता तुम लोगों को? You will find, sometimes you just want to keep on roaming all over the town. Sometimes you want to work from, morning to night. You will say, na, "Sala raat kyun aaya मालूम नहीं. I wish my US team will be there in place. Let me call them up." अरे तू इंडिया में काम कर रहा है अभी यूएस टीम, फिर बोलता है यूएस टीम सो गया रहेगा तो अभी मैं ना हांगकांग टीम से बात करता हूँ, जापान टीम से। तेरे को सोने का नहीं है, उन लोग को तो सोने का रहेगा ना। And then suddenly you will say, "Oh, today is Good Friday. I didn't realize that it was a holiday." But you want to work even on Good Friday. क्या करूं मैं? लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम है। समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? So this change in our world also happens. Sometimes we move from rajas, sattva or tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva, sattva to tamas. Keeps on happening up and down in our life. At the time of death, the rising star, whatever is the rising star, if you are sattvic in nature, मतलब अभी तो बुढ़ा हो गया है, मरने को आया है, और उस टाइम पे बोलता है, बेटे मैंने तुम्हारे लिए इतनी प्रॉपर्टी बना के रखी है, एक काम करो, वो काम वाली बाई जो अपने पास थी ना इतने बरस से, उसको भी थोड़ा सा निकाल के देना। अरे बुढ़ा साला मर रहा है तो मर न, तू ये सब ये काम वाली बाई को देने का, कुत्ते लोग को देने का, बिल्ली को देने का, ये सब तेरे को अभी सोचता है। तो सच टाइप ऑफ पर्सन बिकम सात्विक की नेचर। समझ में आया? क्योंकि उस टाइम पे वो उदार मन रहता है, अच्छा करने का रहता है, हाँ वो सब, तो उस टाइम पे उसको सात्विक मिलेगा। और दूसरा राजसिक, अरे अभी डेथ इज स्टैंडिंग एट द डोर and he is calling his secretary and says, please take down this note from me and send it, and the Yamdev is standing over there. हो गया तेरा नोट लिख के, अभी मैं चलूं तेरे को लेके? अच्छा नहीं, यू वेट, आई हैव टू साइन दिस नोट। लो कर लो बात। अभी ये यमदेव को भी बोलता है मेरा सिग्नेचर ये नोट के ऊपर देगा, फिर मैं आऊंगा।
मरने के टाइम पे कुछ लोगों को शादी करने,
सलमान रश्दी मरने का
नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब बुढ़ा होके भी फिर दे स्टिल दे वांट टू गेट मैरिड टू न्यू।
तो बुढ़ा होके देख तो तू भी बोलेगा मेरे को भी और 4-5 शादी करने का। अभी से तेरे बीवी को मत बोलना लेकिन। You see our great politicians. There was one very great politician, 83, 87, पता नहीं क्या एज था उसका एक MMS वीडियो घूम रहा था। He was once upon a very great man. He was a minister, a big minister, chief क्या बोलते हैं उसको, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट मिनिस्टर, very high. 83 के 85, 3-4 यंग गर्ल्स का साथ एकदम डिंकचिका चालू है उसका वो वीडियो चल रहा था। तो तू उस टाइम पे यही सोचेगा नहीं इसका क्या चल रहा है, तो भाई उसको he wants to die like that. So he is getting ready next round में मेरे को क्या करने का, समझा? So he is going to go to that next level like that only. What?
In sage's body, sometimes be tamasic? Can the body?
Yes, of course.
Even though he is beyond the three gunas?
Yeah. You will find that aghoris are there in this world. They basically are coming from a different region altogether. They eat flesh, human flesh. Yeah. There is no. See, तुमको सब वो बुरा लगता है, लेकिन उनके दुनिया में कोई बुरा और कोई अच्छा चीज नहीं है. Normal human being finds it repulsive in nature. Repulsive? Very repulsive? हाँ? नहीं गंदा, वो गंदा अच्छा चीज कभी रहता है, मैं तेरे को बताता हूँ. Now you are going on the road, alright, and somebody throws a Huggies diaper on top, डम करके नीचे आके गिरा तेरे गाड़ी के पास. तेरे को कितना गुस्सा आएगा? आता है कि नहीं आता है? ऐसा करेगा एकदम, बराबर है कि नहीं? लेकिन वही तेरे बच्चे का तू हगीज डायपर मस्त से फोल्ड करेगा, मतलब पैकेजिंग करके मैं ये ना अच्छे से डालता हूँ, उस टाइम पे तेरे को बुरा नहीं लगता है? क्यों? वही चीज है
अटैचमेंट.
हाँ, उसको एक काम करना, उसके लिए एक बैंक बना के उसमें रखना. कितना गंदा है, लेकिन वही चीज को अच्छा लगता है. क्यों? थिंक अबाउट इट. अभी सोचना, एक ग्लास है, हाँ, वो ग्लास में से और किसी ने पानी पिया है, तू चाह के नहीं पिएगा उसमें से पानी, हाँ, लेकिन तेरी गर्लफ्रेंड ने पिया है, तो बराबर वही ग्लास तू ढूंढ के निकाल के उसमें से पिएगा. क्यों?
अटैचमेंट.
क्यों ऐसा क्यों? But for others it is ganda and for your girlfriend it is acha. Why? Because we have in our material world likes and dislikes, the two ends of the coin. Are they there? Anybody who is in this three is always shuttling between likes, dislikes, this, that, everything. It's in the realm of Maya. And we are talking about a person who has to rise above this, rise above the three gunas, no likes and dislikes. The body can be performing its action whichever way that it wants to. Why are you worried about it? The body has to do what it has to do, sir. You are not the body. समझ में आया? उसमें तुमको अच्छा बुरा लगने का क्या है? I mean, what is it that makes you think that there is good and bad in this world? It's Maya which makes you think like that. So a discerning person is a person who has gone beyond these three gunas. Such a person who has gone beyond these three gunas realizes me. When you rise above these three gunas and goes away from this, so you don't have likes, dislikes, you don't say I have to give donation to charity, I want to do this, I want to help people. Help people? I mean, who the hell are you to help people? You understand this? You are nobody to help anybody. It's your ego which tells you, I am the one who is doing some activity. वो अभी गए थे लायंस क्लब में कुछ तो भी करने के लिए, पता नहीं, मतलब ब्लड डोनेशन से ये लिखे आई डू CSR. भाड़ में तेरा CSR नाम का कोई चीज नहीं है इस दुनिया में. The moment a person says I am doing CSR, I always look at that person and say I our it. Ego tells you I do CSR. It's the ego of whatever, Think about that person. Nobody in this world can help another person. We are not here to help somebody. Actually, you are trying to boast your ego. I do this. So this is what it is. So the discerning person is not bothered about these three gunas. He rises above them. Then only he realizes me. The Supreme Spirit standing entirely beyond these three gunas. Then only he can enter my being.
My being मतलब बोलो करो वाला.
No sir. My being, Brahma. Brahma. There is still not Goloka over there. Having transcended the aforesaid three gunas which have caused the body and freed from birth, death, old age, and all kinds of sorrow, the soul attains supreme bliss. When you go beyond these three gunas, see, these are called three gunas. Okay? Now, when you go beyond these three gunas means what?
Rest. You're a genius.
This is what happens to the person. He rests in me. Going beyond the gunas. Go beyond. When he goes beyond the three gunas, the person rests in me. That's what he says. Having transcended, transcend, go beyond the three gunas, which has caused the body. Please understand, the gunas are for the body alone, body and your mind. These gunas are acting only in this domain. It's not acting in my domain. And freed from old age and all kinds of sorrow. When you go beyond these three gunas, you are going to come to me alone. And when you come towards me, there will be neither birth, nor death, nor old age, nor any kind of sorrow. There is no sorrow. Please understand, age, death, birth, old age and sorrow and all this happens to whom? To the body and the mind. Isn't it? And here we are talking going beyond the body and the mind. You can rest in me. So he says, this soul attains supreme bliss. And in the previous line he says, he enters into my being. See the last two lines of both. They tell the same thing. A person rests in peace. The Christians write RIP, no? Isn't that what they write? RIP. What exactly do they mean by rest in peace?
Rest in the Lord.
Yes, they are going to get back into the Lord. That is what he says. He enters into my being. That's what even the Bible talks about. Come to my heaven, come to my place, rest in me. Isn't that what they say? Think about it. Every religion in this world, every holy book talks the same thing. Aparna is there or not there, I don't know. But there is a simple act which is happening in Sufism. I don't know whether you know.
I am listening now.
What is the meaning of the word zikr?
Mention.
Z-I-K-R. The activity.
Zikr karna is to talk about, to mention.
So what happens? The activity is only motivated towards him. So everything is literally falling in him. Got it? So resting in him. See, there is a word which we constantly keep on using, and that word is called meditation. You know, the word meditate doesn't mean बैठ के खाली ओम ओम बोलने का ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. No, meditate, rest in me, rest in me. Come to me. I am your repose. I am your repose. Come to me. Go beyond this body. This body is the one with body में इतना तकलीफ है कि पूछ मत. ये जो body है ना, इसका अपना काम है. I told you ना, बाल को उगना अपना काम है ना. Didn't I say everything is naturally going towards its own state?
Everything that is born has to go and die. That is the rule.
So it is a basic rule is there. So everything, what you eat is going to get digested and then it's going to get thrown out. Your hair are going to grow. Okay.
It's a universal principle.
This is going to happen. Any which way it's going to happen. All these things are happening to the body alone. And the moment you say it's happening to the body, it's not happening to you. The gunas are performing in the gunas. Don't forget this line. This is very important line. I told you. 3 glasses. Don't forget. You remember this example of the gold also. You know the gold bar which I gave that example, in which if there is a gold bar kept in front of these 3 kinds of people, what does that, what do these 3 people think of? The तामसिक पर्सन में बोला मेरे को हाथ मारने को मिला तो कितना मजा आएगा, मैं चोरी करके इसका है ना एक 4-5 बाटली तो पी सकता हूँ. पहला वैसा सोचता है. The Rajasic person will say, if I get this bar of gold, I will invest it in my company. I will make more money out of it. And the Sattvic person will say, कुछ ना मैं करूँगा तो क्या करूँगा? बोले if I take the gold bar, ना somebody will come and cut my throat. I don't want the gold bar only. And just leave it there and walk away. These are 3 different things that happen even to a Sattvic, Rajasic and a Tamasic person. The same act. Please understand, no object in the universe can be held responsible. It is you. You and your mind which can go in Rajas, Sattva or Tamas. It is in you. Which direction you want to take? So don't blame the object. Object is what? Okay. Object is a beautiful woman on the road. Okay. She's there and she's asking for lift home. Okay. A Tamasic person, वो बोलेगा मैं ना उधर बाहर में जा रहा हूँ, तो आती है मेरे साथ, बोले तेरे को भी पिलाएगा, मैं तो तू मेरे को पिला. राजसिक पर्सन विल से मस्त माल है एकदम,
कल भी आऊंगा.
अब नहीं वो पूछा तेरा रेट क्या है. I'm not joking. How many times when I used to come at 11 and 12 in the night in Mumbai, and people would, and I had some very nice beautiful women with me because I used to run a company which was into this what do you call these companies? No, not ad agency. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Event management company was there. I saw very beautiful. And they will come, they will stop the car and they will ask, अरे लड़की जा रही है तो तेरे को यही समझता है. It is not, the girl is not at fault. It's a person who is asking.
Forward mind.
Yes, Rajasic in nature. Whereas a person who is say Sattvic in nature will stop the car and will say, can I drop you home? Why are you here in the middle of the night? Okay. And if that type of a person happens to be there, then Amir Khan का नया picture आता है. What is it called? Kalash. मतलब वही लास्ट ईयर का कैलाश है, ये टाइम का पता नहीं.
अरे यार बाप रे, वो तो एकदम
है ना. फिर वैसा है वो. So the thing is, meditation means resting in me, losing yourself in me. So you can meditate on me alone. This line has got very beautiful meanings. Meditation in me does not mean standing over there. Oh, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है उसमें. You know the various stages, no? There are the 4 stages. 1, waking state, dream state, उसके बाद sleep state,
and Turiya.
So what's that? Something like that. The last state, Turiya state, is getting lost in Lord. That's it. That is a state of meditation. Getting lost in the Lord. That is what Krishna is talking over here. Arjuna said. हाँ.
ये सब जगह सुप्रीम bliss, ये attain supreme bliss लिखते हैं ना. But to in that realm, when he goes beyond these 3 gunas and merges into Brahman, how can he difference? मतलब how can he experience bliss? Bliss experience करने के लिए sense organ चाहिए ना. The mind is necessary, isn't it? Or the sense organs?
No, the one which you are asking about is not called bliss. It is called happiness. joy, peace. These are certain words that have come in your life. Have they not? All this can be expressed by the very great actor called mind. They are experienced in the mind. And everything, please understand, there is a very big difference. All this has opposites. ये सबको opposites है.
Dislikes.
Yeah, you can say like also. All those words, don't they have what is called an opposite in this world?
They validate it.
Yes. You can be happy and then you can be sad. Can you not be? Yeah. अभी तुमको मैंने एक चॉकलेट दिया, तुम हैप्पी हो गए. थोड़ी देर के बाद तेरा चॉकलेट पद्मा चोरी करके लेके गई, तो तू हो गया सैड. हो गया कि नहीं? बच्चे लोग करते हैं ना ऐसा, करते हैं कि नहीं करते? हाँ. तो इमेजिन you have just got a fancy new car, okay, and you are driving around. Hey, look at me, I am driving. और उधर सिग्नल तोड़ के है ना ड्रम हो गया, तो बोला कार गया सर्विस सेंटर में. तकलीफ हो गया ना कि नहीं हो गया? So that was temporary joy for yours, isn't it? Then it turned into sorrow again, isn't it? It became joy था, लेकिन अभी परिवर्तित हो गया. It changed into something. There was peace in your world, and now it has become. No, the peace is gone. There is only war in the world. Full of fights. चालू है, एक दिन भी peace नहीं. ऐसा हम लोग बोलते हैं कि नहीं बोलते? I don't have any peace in my mind. You see, how many people talk like this?
This is all I ask.
Yes. God, give me peace. बोला इसके लिए वो भाग के जाता है. और लड़की बोलेगी I want peace in my life. मैं मायके चली जाती हूँ. बोला मायके चली जाती हूँ. पहले पुराने जमाने में था, अभी मायके चली जाती हूँ. एक रख के वो हस्बैंड को देगी, बोले तू तेरे है ना मायके चले जा. Get out from here. So पहले तो मायके चली जाते थे. बोले वहाँ मायके है ना थोड़ा सा रह के थोड़े दिन के बाद वापस वही सौरों में आने का. वाह. बोला we have that place in our world. You know, there is a Chinese Prime Minister. He's coming to India. He's going to, actually not coming to India. He's meeting the Indian Prime Minister. And he very clearly says, last week he said these words, that there are some things in our world which we cannot solve. So, can we just let it be and talk about something else?
I feel escape.
No, it's a very right approach. I think it's an approach where can I keep this out and then look at this?
No, but even Pakistan talks like that. That is an escape mentality. Keep Kashmir out and talk bilateral. What?
No, it is like this. If you see from one particular perspective, it's going to look bad to you. But you look from somebody else's perspective, it is going to look still worse for you. I mean, nobody is right and nobody is wrong. Everybody is right from their point of view. So India is right from its point of view. Every country will be right from their own point of view. And they will stick to it. And they will argue on it. So the joy or the peace that is there is a temporary thing. Isn't it temporary? So all these things that we talked about, all this has opposites and is temporary in nature. Everything is temporary in nature. Okay? Did you understand this? So there are opposites in this. A like will have a dislike. A peace will have war. Right? There will be upheaval. Happiness will have sorrow. All these are opposites and they do not last for a long time. This is a very minute portion in your life. They are there and tomorrow you will be in the other state. Whereas, if you remove this, If you remove all this and you want permanency, then that is called bliss. What is the meaning of the word bliss? Whether there is happiness or whether there is sorrow, whether there are likes or whether there are dislikes, whether there is peace or whether there is war. Any person who has attained bliss will always be in a state of equanimity.
We have no opposites.
He is not at all in the state of disturbance at all. In his world, he is peaceful even in war. It does not make a difference to that person. Please understand. A blissful person is a person, even if he has to lift his finger to slap somebody, if he has to lift his hand to slap somebody, he will do it. But it will be with equanimity. He is not at all disturbed by whatever is happening around him. Again, the word disturbed I use. It is a material worldly word. Disturbance means peace on one side and disturbance is on another side. So he doesn't care a damn whether he is peaceful or whether there is disturbance. Whether there are snakes or whether there are cockroaches or whether somebody is throwing diapers from top of the window or whether he has to carry his own diaper. It doesn't make a difference to him. Do you get this point? That person who doesn't make a difference is always in a state of equanimity, is in a state of bliss. Do you get this or no? So the word bliss is nothing to be, it doesn't have an opposite, by the way. It is neither there this side, neither this side. It doesn't get pulled on any side. It is a balanced thing. Correct? A person who is blissful and resting in the Lord, his body will perform bodily actions. The gunas will perform in the gunas, and he knows that he is not the body. Understood? This is the difference between a realized being. Arjuna said, what are the marks of him who has risen above the three gunas, and what is his conduct? And how, Lord, does he rise above the three gunas? It's an important question which Arjuna asks. He is asking Krishna, who is this person that you are talking about? Who is this person who is always in a constant state of bliss? Who is in this state of equanimity? Can you tell me what kind of a person is this? Who is the one who has risen above the three gunas? You said, no? There is a person who has risen above the three gunas. Who is this person? And how does he rise above the three gunas? There is some techniques or methodologies. So Krishna is going to say to him. Sri Bhagavan said, Arjuna, he who hates not light and activity and even stupor when prevalent, nor longs for them when they have ceased. Do you remember this?
So whatever comes to him naturally, it do. Without
He doesn't care whether it is light. Light in the sense, kitna acha hai, I have to help the world. He is not at all bothered helping the world or not helping. उसके सामने आया वो करता है, नहीं आया उसको कोई फिक्र नहीं. He lives in the moment. Person who lives in that moment is the only beautiful creature on this planet Earth. He is full of equanimity. That person is not disturbed. He is not at all disturbed if he is supposed to do some good activity outside. Good and bad, both. Then the same person, if he has to do activity, one second. So, if there is any activity also that he has to perform, He is not bothered that he is supposed to perform some activity. He just does because he is doing that. You understand
Yeah,
this?
it's required to do at that moment, so it does.
He just does it for the sake of doing. Because he is not bothered about reaching some goals or destination. बस उसको सामने उसको बताया गया कि ये करो वो करते रहता है.
Spontaneously.
Spontaneous. It's an action which happens very, very spontaneously. He doesn't bother his head about it. I have got to do activity. मैं activity करेगा तो मेरे को life में problem आएगा. His mind is talking there. Understand?
No thoughts.
Yes, there are no thoughts in the person. He just does for the sake because he's there in that place. He has to do it. I told you, na, if a person who is a realized being, if he has to slap somebody, he will slap. He will not even bother about it. He will slap and he will go away on his way. Okay, somebody has thrown one, like I said, डायपर बेकार वो उठा के बाजू में रख देगा. वो ये नहीं सोचेगा कि किसी दूसरे बच्चे का डायपर है या फिर वो बाजू से चला जाएगा. No action is there in his world which is important to do.
Rajnish said, I live spontaneously.
Yeah, got to live spontaneously. And even stupor. This person will say, अब मेरे को नींद आ रही है, अब मैं जा रहा हूँ. वो ऐसा भी नहीं बोलेगा. बोलेगा नींद आ रहा है तो उधर ही बैठे बैठे सो जाएगा. उसको कोई पड़ी नहीं है. It's like his body is performing the action. The body performs the action. Boss, why are you so much het up about it कि नहीं ऐसा ही नहीं करने का, वो ऐसा करने का, वो ऐसा होना चाहिए, वैसा ऐसा कुछ नहीं. उसके लाइफ में ऐसा कोई भी चीज नहीं है.
When he is sleeping, he's still lost in the Lord.
There is no question of lost in the Lord. Here, we are talking about a different person. We are talking about a person who has to reach the state of the Parabrahma. Parabrahma is a different thing. Okay? So, we'll stick to the verse. Then we'll talk about your stuff later on. Okay? He who hates not light. That means somebody who says, I don't care whether there is bad or good in this world. If I got to do, I got to do. If knowledge is coming to me, knowledge is coming to me. If knowledge is not coming to me, it's not coming to me. What difference does it make? You see, have you ever heard Sai Baba say, oh, it's my time to read the Bhagavad Gita? Have you ever heard a person like Ramakrishna Paramahansa say these words? नहीं, मैंने है ना ये नहीं किया स्टडी, मेरे को करने का जरूरी है. ऐसा कभी सोचा है, कभी बोलता है वो आदमी? He doesn't care. जितना है उतना है. देखो सामने थाली में है ना दाल राइस और एक सब्जी है, खाने का तो खाओ, नहीं तो गया बाहर में. Understand this? A Rajasic person will say, नहीं आप खाइए, you eat. He will say these words. A Rajasic person will say, Sattvic person will say, you eat. A Rajasic person will say, ये क्या खाली इतना ही दिया, इसमें स्वीट किधर है, ये किधर है, चपाती किधर है, correct?
Fight for his right.
Yes.
Chicken किधर है?
हाँ. And a Tamasic person will say, बस इतना ही दिया मेरे को खाने को. दाल राइस और एक सब्जी है ना, कटोरी लाना, पूरा पूरा बर्तन लाके इधर रखना, मेरे को उतना खाने का. Because in his world, that's the only thing that is given in his world. A person who is Rajasic in nature, his variety is the spice of life. उसको और चार और चीज चाहिए. बोला क्या दाल राइस और एक रोटी नहीं चलेगा अपने को है ना. बोला खीर मांगता है, सेमिया मांगता है, और क्या क्या चटनी मांगता है, और क्या भत्ता कोलम मांगता है,
पूरन पोली मांगता है,
अब पूरन पोली मांगता है, सब मांगता है उसको. मांगता कि नहीं?
Classic.
पीछे रहेगा देखो उधर, नहीं रहेगा तो उधर से लेके आ. So this kind of a person,
I think that's like that.
he can have that water. No? So he doesn't hate light nor activity. If activity has to be done, he will just do it. करने का है, करेगा. क्वेश्चन करने का क्या जरूरी है? करने का है, अपने को करने का है. सुपर बोलेगा तो मैं बाद में करेगा, मेरे को अभी है ना नींद आ रहा है. वो उसको वो भी नहीं है पड़ा. When prevalent, non-norms for them and does not for them when they have ceased. So such a type of action which has happened during that particular moment, the person doesn't say later on that I want to do this later on.
It's not on his mind.
Yeah, there is no mind at play. He's gone beyond the gunas, and because he has gone beyond the gunas, there is no such thing as कि ये ऐसा ही होना चाहिए और वैसा ही होना चाहिए. और जो सामने आता है वो अपने हिसाब से करता है. He who is sitting like a witness is not disturbed by the gunas, and who, knowing that the gunas alone move among the gunas, remains established in identity with God and never falls off from that state. This is what I said, na? Gunas are acting in the gunas. You are sitting as a witness. Witness बोलेगा तो ऐसा देखते बैठता है. अच्छा, अभी सम्राट को भूख लगेगी. मतलब सम्राट का जो विटनेस है वो विटनेस देखेगा. सम्राट को अभी भूख लगेगी, सम्राट को अभी नींद आ रही है. You know, the witness in you will say these words. You are not Samrat. Samrat is this body, and this Samrat is the one who is called the witness outside of you. So you can actually see yourself performing those actions. And this is a very beautiful way of witnessing what you go through. Okay? समझो किसी ने तेरे गाड़ी को ऐसा काटा, तो माँ की, बहन की, इसकी उसकी सब गालियां देते कि नहीं देते? देते है ना कि नहीं देते? At that time, just before it is happening, the witness will say अभी देके गाली देगा. हाँ, और अगर गाड़ी को ठोका तो बोलेगा अभी इंश्योरेंस है ही नहीं मेरा, इंश्योरेंस भरने को भूल गया था. This is actually, you can see the witness will see how you are doing. It is just watching you. It stands outside of you and watches what you do. This state is very beautiful. It is not the state of understanding, by the way. It's just for knowledge purpose the state is created. There is no such state as witness. Please understand this. The self doesn't have a state called witness. Do not please say that there is a state called witness. See, I'll give you an understanding of this. Alright? There is a person. Okay, this is X. He splits himself outside. Creates a witness state called X1. Okay, so this is your body. Okay, this is a witness state. He is watching me. This witness state watches this person. And he says this person is acting in the gunas. Do you understand this? The body, I told you, the body is performing its own actions. Okay? Do you have to tell your own saliva, now come? ऐसा करके थोड़ी बोलना पड़ता है. वो saliva कभी भी आते रहता है. हाँ, आता है कि नहीं? सब अपने हिसाब से चलते रहता है. वैसे ही the gunas are acting in the gunas. I told you. The state of 3 glasses, now the gold, and ये जितने भी examples दिए हैं ना, those are just examples. That is not how it works actually. Those are just examples for understanding purpose, so that you come into the state of light. The state is given for you to understand. Understanding is light. Okay. So this person watches this person do everything. Alright? Now, all this is happening in the self. Yet, the self is not involved in the action.
So everything is happening by itself. अपने आप में हो रहा है.
Now, you will say, this is witness, this is body, all this is the self, yet self is not involved in the action. How does this work? The body is supposed to do what it is supposed to do, yes or no? Correct? This is a created state for us to understand. When teacher is teaching you something, how does the teacher explain to you? this उसका example लेती है ना. She gives you an example or no? Or she does what is called an experiment. Does the teacher do experiment in school? Yes or no? You remember there was this Jagdish Chandra Bose, scientist. He had said that the plants also have, yes. They say these words, isn't it? And there used to be an experiment which the teacher used to conduct. Respiration, photosynthesis, all these experiments teacher was doing. Right? So this was happening to the plant. Teacher was showing us some examples or experiments. Huh? The action was observed in this. This action was observed in this. Correct or no? You saw the plants breathe. Did you see this? Now, all this was done by somebody. Who is that somebody? Somebody who was experiencing it. This is a witness state. Experiencer. Something was experiencing it. You were understanding this experiment. Yes or no? All this happens in the realm of Prakriti. And beyond the Prakriti is the Purusha. Purusha is not involved in this action. All actions are under the domain of Prakriti. And all this I wrote over here is called Maya. The act is a Mayavi act. It's a Maya. Performing those actions. Continuously she is doing the actions in the domain of Prakriti. Whereas the self is not even the witness. Not even the witness. He is not even witnessing anything. So when somebody says, God, help me, save me, ये सेल्फ को पड़ी नहीं है तुम्हारे बारे में, समझ में आया क्या? Whom you are praying to is Prakriti. And all the gods are in this domain. And beyond this domain is this. So the self is not involved in it. All the actions are in this domain. This whole thing is the self. Whole thing is the self. Got it? आपको निकलने यार? Oh my God. Okay. I am going to do till 25.
Yeah, I'll see the video.
So, he who is sitting like a witness is not disturbed by the gunas, and who, knowing that the gunas alone move among the gunas, remains established in identity with God and never falls off from that state. So anybody who understands that everything happens here is in the state of this, he experiences it. It's just standing outside, he experiences it. That kind of a person will never fall off from the state. Okay? Will be established in this God. He who is ever established in the self takes pain and pleasure alike. There is neither pain nor pleasure alike. Both are same. Regards a clod of earth, a stone and a piece of gold as equal in value. I just now said no, that gold bar thing. I said that no. Person, he doesn't care whether it's a gold bar or whatever. He just walks away from there. He is not at all disturbed by it. If somebody gives it to him, he will keep it in his pocket and walk away from there. He doesn't bother. Somebody has given me gold. Somebody is going to cut my throat. He is not bothered about that.
His control.
Yeah.
Gunas don't control him. He controls the gunas.
Yeah, there is no mind state like which is going to disturb him. So there is no such thing as I want to do this or I want to do that. What has to be done, he just does it for the sake of doing. He is possessed of wisdom. He is possessed of wisdom. That person doesn't bother about anything which is वो सब जाने वाला है उधर से उठा लो. Just tell her to pick it up from there only. इधर ही उठा. Tell her not to disturb her. Go away from here. उतना पिकअप करो और जाओ. And is possessed of wisdom, accepts the pleasant as well as the unpleasant in the same spirit. What is pleasant and what is unpleasant? You know, there is a very beautiful thing which happens to people. Suppose there is a non-drinker and you offer him a glass of wine or you offer him a glass of liquor. You know how much no he will say? मैं नहीं पीता है, मेरे को नहीं अच्छा लगता है. And then if you keep on नहीं लेना ही चाहिए, लेना ही, you know how much he will fight with you? Or somebody who is a vegetarian, give him a piece of non-vegetarian chicken to eat, and what happens to the person? They are all operating from the sense of the gunas. Don't you see, in their world there is a like and a dislike. But this person who is lost in the state of the self, you keep a glass of wine in front of him, he may be a non-drinker his entire life, but he will pick up the glass and he will drink it. And he won't even realize he has done it.
So is this what Sai Baba was trying to convey when he mixed all the food?
Exactly.
He writes about Yoguna.
You remember the story of Trailanga Swami? Where he opens that, the king opens it, the king of Banaras. He opens that and he finds, you know, very beautiful stuff instead of whatever the Trailanga Swami had kept. You remember that? How did that convert into that? Faith. Most important word is faith. When you have faith in the Lord, when a person is lost in the Lord, he doesn't care whether the person is eating meat or he is eating some crap, or whether he is drinking wine or he is drinking dirty water. Doesn't make a difference to him. So such a type of a person he is talking about. He is ever established in the same, takes pleasure and pain alike. He doesn't say whether he is in pleasure or he is in pain. He just takes everything as it comes. Regards a clod of earth, a stone or a piece of gold equal in value. He doesn't care whether somebody is giving him a bar of gold or he is giving a clod of earth or whatever. If he has to take it, he will take it. If he doesn't have to, he doesn't take it. He is possessed of wisdom, accepts the pleasant as well as the unpleasant in the same spirit. He doesn't discern. He doesn't say this is bad or this is good. He takes both the things in the same way. Please understand this again. Here, do not make the mistake that a person he's got an unpleasant situation, so he's going to feel bad about it. Suppose a person, a sage like this, is caught amongst 10 people, and the person says, and they are beating him up. At such type, you think that person will say, कि है ना शांति 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 ऐसा बोलेगा तुमको लगता है? No, it is his job to defend himself. It is his job to defend himself. What is natural at that point in time?
उनको मारने
का नहीं, defending.
बट डिफेंड करने के लिए मारना पड़ेगा.
तो डिफेंस और ऑफेंस में बहुत फर्क है. डिफेंस और ऑफेंस में बहुत फर्क है. You see, when you do karate, you are offensive in nature. When you do Tai Chi, it is defensive.
When you kill somebody in defense, you are pardoned.
Even your judo is defensive. You should know that. There are certain defensive techniques and there are certain offensive techniques. Offensive बोलेगा तो hey मार के रखें like that. And defend बोलेगा तो मारना नहीं ऐसा. That is defense. And let us say, for example, you know, your near and dear ones keep on arguing with you. तू ये सब कर रहा है, सब सत्संग को जाता है, तू ये कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है, ऐसा सब पूरा बोलने लगेंगे. उस टाइम पे तुम बोले कभी चूहा के जैसा बैठने का नहीं। समझ में आया? उस टाइम पे ये बोलने का कि मैं कोई गलत काम करने नहीं जा रहा हूँ, मैं कोई दारू पीने को नहीं जाता हूँ, मैं किसी लड़की को मिलने को नहीं जा रहा हूँ वहां पे। समझ में आया? और मैं मेरे टाइम में कर रहा हूँ ये काम। समझ में आया? I am doing this in my sweet time. Like you love to do painting, you love to do sleeping. Your hobby is sleeping. Go to sleep. My hobby is to go and listen to satsang. That is my hobby. I can go and listen to satsang. A person is not disturbed in either which way. Okay. That's it. So the person is not disturbed. He is not going to say, मेरे को मार रहा है, चल दे रहा। वो मार रहा है, क्या मार रहा है? If you have to be defensive, you have to be defensive. You are not going to be offensive. Please don't be offensive. Understood? Offense is a part connected to rajas activity. No, you have to defend yourself. You are not doing anything wrong. Okay? You are not joining a people over there where they are going to train you to, कोई तो भी है ना ऑरेंज कलर का क्लोथ या फिर ऐसा करके डाल के बोलेगा ओ ऐसा करने को तो तेरे को लगा नहीं रहे ना हम लोग। क्या बोलते एक जगह पे एक टंगली पे खड़ा रहने का ऐसा करके हाँ वैसा सूर्य नमस्कार इधर करने को नहीं लगाता है ना। मेरे यहाँ सूर्य ही नहीं आता तो नमस्कार किधर से करेगा? तो देयर इज नथिंग लाइक दैट, देयर इज नो such activity happening here which can be very, very offensive in nature. So then why are you cowering? Why are you feeling afraid? Can you not defend yourself? You need to defend. So a realized being will defend himself. Please understand, there is a difference. What has to be done, he will do. Imagine Krishna, who is the greatest soul in this world, if he was there in today's day and age, तो कोई उसको चार मार के रखा, धन 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 करके लगा कि मारा, उनको लगता है कृष्णा चुप बैठने वाला है, बोलेगा नहीं मेरे को वाला है, पकड़ के धोएगा उसको, क्यों? It's important that he has to do that, and that is the act which is right. So please understand, there are no likes or dislikes to such a person. There is nothing pleasant or unpleasant. And view censure and praise alike. Both censure बोलेगा तो तूने ऐसा क्यों किया, सेंचर बोलेगा तो हम लोग को लोग चिल्लाते हैं ना, बोलते कि ऐसा ही है, और प्रेज करते, दोनों में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. He who is occupied in honor and ignominy is alike towards a friend or an enemy, and has renounced the sense of doership in all undertaking, is said to have risen above the three gunas. बोला ये मेरा दोस्त है, ये मेरा दुश्मन है, ऐसा करके कुछ नहीं चलता है. बोला सब एक समान है, दोस्त भी एक ही कैटेगरी में, दुश्मन भी एक ही कैटेगरी में. Okay, so the person doesn't say that he is bad, so he is not my friend. This person is good, so he is my friend. He doesn't make this type of discrimination between the two of them. He says, no, both are in the same place. One person who is always used to barking, like some dogs bark or no, भौ करते रहते, तो वो तो उसका काम कर रहा है भौ भौ करने का, तू क्यों उसको जाके बोलता है चुप बैठ करके? You understand what I'm saying? And some dog like to bite. तो वो बाइट करता है कोई डॉग, वो उसका नेचर है, क्योंकि उसमें गिरता है, बाजू से जाने. कुत्ता भौंकता है तो भौंकने दो ना, मैं क्या करूँ उसमें? Understand this. Some people have a nature, so don't get bothered about that nature. Only when it affects you, defend yourself. Please learn to defend yourself. Don't say है ना वो भुगता था इसीलिए मैं ना तुमने बोला था बाजू से चल के जाने का, सॉरी मैंने ऐसा नहीं बोला बाजू से चल के जाने का, तेरे ऊपर ऐसा डोइंक करके जम मारा और तेरे को भोंकने लगा ना, एक रख के देना हम तेरे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. हाँ, so you have to take the right action at that point in time. Alright? So, he who is equipoised in honor and ignominy is alike towards a friend or an enemy, and has renounced the sense of doership in all undertakings. He doesn't say, Maine kiya. He doesn't keep on saying, I did this. He is said to have risen above the three gunas. So, such a person has risen above the three gunas. Okay, so we'll stop over here at 25. Oh, there are only two more.
Yeah.
Can we finish it? Huh? Okay, fine. He who constantly worships me through the yoga of exclusive devotion, transcending the three gunas, he becomes eligible for attaining Brahma. Now, this is the thing that we need to understand. This is the self, this is the body over here in Prakriti, this is the Purusha. Now, there is another person like this. There is another person over there. This person over here in this domain is a person who is my devotee. Can you see devotee? Krishna says these words very beautifully. He says what you know? Somebody who is my devotee. He has the self, the experiencer, the experience, the body, everything. This person, I will offer him everything. I will offer him the self also. जा, लेके जा self. बोला तू तो बड़े बाप का बेटा है. चलो तो बड़े बाप का बेटा है इसीलिए है ना. Just imagine, you are the king of this world. Till you are the king of India, you can only rule over India. You can't rule over United States, correct? But if you are the king of the world, बोला ये यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स भी तेरा, इंडिया भी तेरा. बोला तेरे को जाके फिजी में रहने का, वो भी तेरा. चल. बोला तेरे को जाके पेंगुइन लोग के साथ रहने का, वो भी तेरा. जिधर जाने का है वो तेरा सब. So the person who is my devotee is like that boss. Just don't bother about all these things. I will offer them to you. So he is eligible for attaining Brahma. This person is eligible for this also. Understand this. For I am the substratum of the imperishable Brahma. This, the red thing, is the Brahma. It is red. Okay. All this I have drawn in red is the Brahma. What does Krishna say over there? I am the one who created this Brahma. I am the one who created this world. Understand this? I am the substratum of the imperishable Brahma, of immortality, of the eternal Dharma and the absolute bliss. इधर में तुमको whatever you are supposed to get ना bliss ये सब है ना, वो सब मेरा डोमेन में है. तुम मेरा डिवोटी बन जाओ, ये सब तुम्हारा अंडर आ जाएगा. समझ में आया? Simple formula in this world. He says, you can be a king of this, you can be a king of this. Only thing is you better come to me only first. Then I will offer you whatever kingdom you want. समझ में आया? I'll give you passport to both the kingdoms. बोला free, in coming, going, anytime. 100 times also you can stamp it. In and out, no problem. It's not a 10-year visa. Lifetime visa. Lifetimes visa. As many lifetimes as you want. And passport का ऊपर stamp भी करने का जरूरी नहीं. तेरा थोड़ा देखेगा बोलेगा आ जाओ. तेरा थोड़ा देख के बोलेगा अच्छा साहब जाओ. Thank you very much for coming. समझ में आया? ऐसा है. United Nations के जैसा. इधर जाओ किधर भी जाओ. But you don't need to be a member of the UN. You are only the UN is this devotee. Thus in the Upanishad sung by the Lord, besides the Brahma, the scriptures, the yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, ends the 14th chapter entitled the Yoga of Division of the Three Gunas. So we have just finished this beautiful chapter for the Three Gunas. If you have any questions, you can ask me. No? Anything? No? No. Brito? Nothing. Good. Go to sleep. Mummy, daddy hai na ek hour hafta. Just take them around a little bit. Show them the world.
Britos.
Yeah. Raj, anything for me? Any questions? No? Kalpana? No? Aparna, anything that you want to ask?
No.
Okay, then you please take off and have a very good evening and a good day.